Let's have some fun today talking about our power. Before we dive into how it is that I've come to speak with you today, let's find out if we are similar in some ways. I imagine we are. So how many of you have really fabulous, wonderful things in your life that you want to keep, you want them to keep going, you want more of them? And by chance, have you also used your power of positive thinking, your unity principles, what you know about how to attract what you want in your life, to get some of these fabulous, wonderful things in your life? And those principles and those power of new thought have worked? Okay. And how many of you also have things in your life that are not as you want them? You want them to be better. You want some different, more wonderful things in your life. Okay, we're alike in all these ways. And how many of you say, how do those unity principles and how do the principles of new thought really work? Because it's not working for me in these ways in which I want life to be better. I haven't been able to get these principles to work. And do you have a question? How do they work? Are they real and can you get them to work? Anybody have that question? All right, well, we are alike in many ways then. So my personal mission in life, and before I tell you how I got to that mission, my mission is to help you understand your power and use it in your life to get everything that you desire. You have the power to get everything in life that you desire. I mean everything. You can get it while you're in the middle of a challenge. You can get it while there is suffering in your life, because life brings that. We're not saying you're going to have a life without challenges and without suffering. We're saying that in the midst of that, you have the power to focus on what it is that you desire and to receive that. That is all within your power. The unity principles are all true. And I will teach you and help you to understand how they work and how to work them in your life to get what you want. So before I tell you how I got there, I want to share a story of using my power in the moment, because you can use your power in any single moment for small things or for big things. You can use your power for things that might take several years to achieve. So your power works all the time. And the more you use the skills that I'm going to teach you, the more you can use your power in the moment and for anything you want in life. Remember when the Royals won the World Series? Yes, so that was so exciting. My daughter Lauren came in from out of town and we were all excited to go to the parade, but I had a meeting that morning of all things and I couldn't get out of the meeting. And so I said, you all go, I will meet you at the parade. So I didn't know what I was getting into. So it's a lovely, beautiful day, and my car is parked quite a ways away, but I set out from my car, and it's a beautiful day, and I am by this time, well familiar with how to use my power. I've been using it for a long time. I know how to get what I want. I know how to work my power. So I said to the energy that we are all connected to and that I'm connected to, my personal power, I said, take me to my family. And I had every confidence because I know how to work my personal power. I claimed it, I felt it, and I head out. And so I get down to the area of the parade, and it's thick, and there are lots of people, and it's shoulder to shoulder, and no text messages that I'm sending to my family are going out. They say, can't send. I can't get a phone signal to call my family to say, where are you? No text messages or phone calls are coming in. And I am right about there. Well, I've made my way from way over there somewhere where I parked, and I'm right about there. And I still said, Spirit, take me to my family. And I stayed calm, and I kept my intention, and I thought, you know, there's a lot of energy here. There's a lot of people with a lot of phones and a lot of energy, and geez Louise. So I just resigned myself to whatever is going to happen is going to happen. Sometimes my personal power isn't big enough to influence everything. So I thought maybe this is one of those times. So I found a way to just be calm and quiet, which you'll find out is essential. And next thing I know, a text message came in from my daughter, and she says, we're in the area of the 3 flags. So I'm here, right? And the area of the 3 flags is over there. See that? There's 3 flags over there. And I think, oh, I know where to go. I'm so excited. I have my guidance. And so, little bit by little bit, shoulder to shoulder, person to person, I weave my way through. And so, one, it was remarkable that a text message came in the midst of all that. But what's even more remarkable is that I didn't do any wandering. I simply put one foot in front of the other and listened to my guidance and set my intention. And all of a sudden, I look up and there's Patrick. I nearly fainted. I nearly fell over with joy and tears, and I was just so excited. It was really phenomenal. So I used my power in that moment, and it took me right to what I wanted. You have the same power. The 2 main powers that you have is the power of intention and the power of intuition. Hey, we're going to talk about the power of intention. So today is the power of intention, and I'm going to help you understand how that power works and how to use it in your life. It is a core power, and when I come back on February 16th, we're going to talk about the power of intuition, and I'm going to help you understand how that works and how the 2 together will help you create anything that you're wanting in your life. I'm going to start out with the question of, if intention is so powerful, what is it made of? What do you think about when you hear H2O? Water. So what is that? Water is 2 hydrogens, H2, 2 hydrogen elements, and 1 oxygen element. They call it H2O. It's water. What do you think of when you think of oxygen? Breathing. When you think of breathing, what are you breathing? Air. Air. And air is O2. It's 2 oxygens. So our whole world is made up of these elements of life. You saw the chart when you were in school. I'm not going to review the chart with you, but I am going to ask Lauren to forward the slide, and you will see that your feelings are made of elements that everything in the universe is made of. So your body is made primarily of oxygen, hydrogen, and nitrogen. Now your feelings are interesting. I didn't put this up here. See the heart that says carbon, nitrogen, and hydrogen? Your feelings also have oxygen in there, but they also have this interesting sulfur thing. You all know what sulfur smells like? Stinky eggs? Well, it's an element of the universe. I didn't put that up there. So your feelings are this element of the universe. They come together in what's called molecules. So like water is a molecule, H2O. It's 2 hydrogens plus 1 oxygen. It's a molecule, and we call it water. So your feelings are the same. Have you ever heard of serotonin? So serotonin is a feel-good molecule. We think of it as the love molecule. It's in your body. It's made up of these things: carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, a little stinky sulfur, and it's all in there. So I'm going to take a minute, and before I segue on to how for you to make sense of this in our electromagnetic world, I'm going to pass out some light bulbs. And if you all would share these, see if you can turn them on. Can you turn them on? You can share with the people behind. All right, have people, oh, hey, we have shared it. Very good. Okay, so who, yes, share it with your friends. Now everybody kind of gather around, pass it around so that everybody can experience how to light up this light bulb. And if you figured it out, share it with the people around you so that they can know how to do it. Several of you have figured it out. Has everybody had a chance? Has everybody had a chance? Okay, everybody, who wants to try it? Very good. So I am going to share with you before, this chart is a complicated chart and you certainly do not need to understand it all. But I am going to show you where your feelings are on this chart. This is a chart of all of the electromagnetic energy we have working in our world. So at the top of the chart are humans. We vibrate at about, you generate enough electricity just sitting there to power a 100-watt light bulb. So you are full of electromagnetic energy. So we humans are here, then we have sound waves, they vibrate a little bit faster, and then you will see this wave. This wave means that these are vibrating this amount of number per second. So humans vibrate very slowly. We only vibrate up to 100 of these waves per second, 100 hertz. Whereas microwaves that heat your food look like they vibrated about 3 trillion waves per second. And our feeling molecules, remember I said they're made of elements and they are molecules? They vibrate at 300 quintillion waves per second. That's 300 quintillion of those per second. They're very powerful. Now, how did I come to learn all this? I came to learn all this because years ago I had a publishing company and it was a very successful, profitable company. I was traveling a lot. It was very stressful. It was very busy. And I decided I was missing out on too much of my kids' lives. And I set an intention to sell my business. So I meditated on that. I meditated on that every day for about 4 years. And about miraculously, all these things just came together. And all of a sudden my business sold. And it sold for the exact amount of money that I had been meditating on that I wanted in the bank. Now, how did that happen? I wondered, how did my meditations and my intentions leave me? Like they must have left me somehow in order to connect me with people that wanted to buy my business. And they must have left me somehow and communicated somehow that I ended up with the exact amount of money that I wanted in the bank. So after all is said and done and I cash that check and it's in the bank and I've got some fat pockets, I thought, I am going to find out. I'm a scientist at heart. I'm a psychologist. I have a PhD. The PhD mostly was around studying the science. So I have a degree in human biology. And anyway, I like science. And so I thought, I'm going to figure out how this works. So 10 years later, I have a book coming out. And it's on how this power works, how our personal power works. So I'm not going to give you all the details because there's lots of them, but they're in a user-friendly manner in the book that will come out later this year. And it'll all be very easy to understand, user-friendly language. But that's how I came to know about how our personal power works. So now let's look at these molecules. So what are these? See these molecules of our feelings. Remember our feelings like serotonin, norepinephrine, all those are feeling molecules. And it's kind of interesting that waves, all of these molecules, all energy in the world has waves of electromagnetic energy. That's what these are, and they tell you how many waves per second. But what you may not know is that each molecule's wave, each wave created by whatever, has its own unique shape and its own frequency and its own power of amplitude. So it's very unique. So if you would describe for me what love feels like to you. Somebody throw out some words. What does it feel like? How would you describe the feeling of love? Is it smooth? Is it jaggedy? Is it warm? Okay, warm. What else is love?
Comforting.
Comforting.
Safe.
Safe. What is it?
Smile.
Smiling.
Smells good.
Smells good. Okay, love smells good. There we go. Connecting. Calm. Very good words, all fabulous words. Now, how would you describe anger, bitterness, resentment, fear? What are some words are those chaotic feelings? Are they calm feelings? How would you describe bitterness or fear and anger? Wait, lots of sounds. What? Negative. Disconnecting. Silence. Isolation. Disappointment.
And feel stressful.
Stressful. Jagged. Tight and knotted. Stomachache. Painful. Okay, well, all those are great words. We have science research that shows that your feeling waves look like what they feel like. So these are illustrations of waves taken from electrocardiograms. So when you are in a love state, the waves that your heart puts out are smooth and they are even. And they're evenly spaced. They're predictable in their pattern with a smooth, peaceful wave. The angry, bitter, resentful, fearful energy is chaotic and it's jagged. So the power that we have with our intentions is here in this wave. Now you might wonder, how come that's powerful? It's powerful because it's like a laser. So imagine a flashlight. When you flash a flashlight, it has light waves. Remember, everything has got waves. It has light waves that have a pretty wide range and it lights up a broad area. When you have a laser, it goes very far. It points very far. See that red light? Now this laser is connected to a low watt battery, so it's not going to point hugely far, but it is more powerful than a flashlight in lighting up a specific area because these waves get in sync. See those waves? They're in sync together. Your power is in those waves being in sync together. They have to be able to line up. My dad would call it Jin and Han. They're Jin and Han together. In the horse world, that means when two horses go right, they're Jin. They both have to go right. They're never going to get anywhere if one's going left and the other one's going right. If you want to go left, you want to haul, you're going to have to both go left, right? You're going to have to G and ha together. So your waves are going to have to go up and down together. They can't be going up and down in different ways. There's research that shows the power of that. That'll be in my book. But for now, let's go to the next slide. And we will know that this energy is 3 times more powerful. Now, it's 3 times more powerful. I put up some numbers up there, which you don't care too much about. But there's science that shows that the power in millivolts, if you measure these feelings, is 3 times greater than anger energy. And it actually vibrates 10 times higher. Now the reason is because these energy waves can get in sync. And when they get in sync, they naturally can receive a boost of intention, a boost of clarity, a boost of decision. And there's research out of the Blue Brain Project in Sweden that shows those lined up energy waves, when they receive a boost, that is the point that causes communication to leave from us to the outside world. So these energy waves don't just stay in your body. They connect up outside of you at a quantum energy level. So I'm not going to get into the whole quantum thing. That's too much. The reason why these angry waves aren't so powerful is because they can't get lined up together. They're unpredictable. You don't know when the jaggeds and the highs and the lows are going to come. So those waves cannot sync up together very easily. They can. You can concentrate on angry things and you can get those waves to sync up, but it's not as easy. That's why they're not as powerful. And you're going to want to concentrate on that which you want, really, because if you want something that brings you happiness, you are going to want to get your energy waves in alignment, because you are going to, this energy is leaving you, it's going outside of you, and it is going to be connecting with other energy waves that have a similar pattern and a similar frequency. They actually, scientists, quantum scientists, some have said they sniff it out. These energy waves have what he calls sniffers, and they're actively looking for other waves that have the same pattern and the same frequency. So you want to set intentions for what it is you want in life. Let's take a couple of examples, okay? So let's say that you are having a peaceful day, and you have a child that's an adult child, grown and gone, but that child calls you, and in distress. Now you want to respond in a good way, and you also don't want to be hijacked in that maybe that call is a rather frequent call that you get regularly with your child in distress. And you don't want your feelings of what you desire in your life, which is some happiness, peacefulness, loving connections, to all of a sudden go jaggedy with your child's fear and your child's anxiety. So it is very important that you know you have a choice. It's important when you are at a juncture where you can choose, either I'm going to put out stressful feelings, I'm going to put out some fear, I'm going to put out some anxiety, I'm going to put out some worry. I can choose to do that. I have a pause here when information comes into me. What am I going to do with this pause? Or am I going to choose purposefully to create more of what I want? Because remember, these energy waves are going out in the universe seeking similar other waves. So you want to be choosing to initiate an intention of waves of energy that is going to bring you more of what you want. So your child calls in distress with anxiety and worry about something going on in their life. What might be some intentions that you could choose in your moment of pause that will allow you energy that is in this range? Intentions. You might say to yourself, I intend to be a supportive parent to my child. I intend to be a wise parent to my child. I intend to be loving in this moment to my child. And you have not, in any of those statements, committed to taking on the anxiety or the stress or the anger or the worry. You have not said to go there. Now, as a parent, you would say, naturally, I'm going to be worried if my child is in distress. I'm naturally going to have some of this worry, anxiety, energy because my child is in distress. What parent wouldn't have that? Yes, you will have that. When you make a decision, you can know that where you put the majority of your energy is what's going to be working for you out in the world. So you can just choose to know that's a natural reaction. Your anxiety and your worry is a natural reaction. And you can say, I get that. I set that aside for the moment. And I am going to choose to be in a calm, peaceful place, to be a wise parent, a loving parent, a supportive parent. That is a choice. Knowing these are not going to disappear because you are a parent, but you are going to choose what to do with them. You're going to choose whether they get your attention and you want more of them and you want to attract more of that in your life. If you want to attract more anxiety and worry and tension and fear, then concentrate on it. You'll get it, no doubt. If you want to attract a loving connection, a supportive connection, a wise connection with your child, take your moment of pause and set that intention. Let's ask maybe another scenario. How about work? Let's say you're at work, and let's help each other out on this one, okay? So let me ask for an example from the audience. Who has an example of a common situation that you encounter and you wonder, how do I have good, peaceful, clear energy waves in this kind of situation?
Boss stole my ideas.
Ah, okay, so thank you. So your boss at work, you shared a good idea with your boss, and your boss took it and went to her boss and claimed it as her own. Well, geez Louise, what feelings might you have, natural feelings, in reaction to that?
Anger.
Anger, yes. What else?
Resentment.
Resentment, absolutely.
Powerlessness.
Powerlessness, right. So those are natural feelings to have to an event that doesn't feel good and it's not what you want. Now, if you want to continue to feel powerless, to feel resentment, to feel angry, focus on that. Stay with those feelings. Give them your time and attention. You'll get it. You can have whatever you want. So if you want that, focus on it. If you say instead, I don't want that. I want to feel powerful in my work. I want to feel competent. I want to feel like I have good ideas and I can do something with those and they're going to go somewhere. I want to feel happy in my work. I want to have good relationships with my coworkers. So remember, it is not your job to fix anybody. It is not your job to make them different. Your job is yourself, with what energy you are putting out into the world that you want more of. That is your job. So you cannot fix the other person. You don't need to psychoanalyze them about why they felt they could take your idea and share it and claim it as their own. That's not your world. Your world is what are you going to do with yourself, your energy inside of yourself. So you might say to yourself, I think I'm going to talk to that person and see if they would be willing to go to the boss and correct this misunderstanding. Now that's a generous comment. If the person took your idea and shared it with the boss and claimed it as their own, what do you think the chances are that that idea is going to work?
0.
0? Well, I think I'd give it more than a 0. It could be that when you talk to the person, it might be 10. Close enough. You say, optimistic, I'm going to be an optimist. But that still doesn't matter in that you are claiming your own power. Your own power to say, I would like to do something in this situation. For me, it feels honorable and peaceful and happy to try to correct it. So I'm going to do that because that is what feels good to me. Now, if it turns out that this optimism doesn't work and the person is not responsive, then what do, right? You probably have another round of anger, bitterness, resentment. It would make sense that those feelings come to revisit you. And again, you have another choice. What are you going to do at that juncture? So at that juncture, you might get quiet inside yourself. And you might say, I do want good relationships with my coworkers. I want to contribute good ideas at work and I want to do a good job. So you might say, next time you're going to get quiet with yourself. You're going to let go of the other person, whatever reasons they did what they did. You're going to say, next time I think I'll be more choosy. I'll be a little wiser who I share my ideas with. And you will then know you can still have good ideas. You can choose next time how to share those ideas differently and how to show up differently to get what you want. You can listen to your inner guidance and you can get other ideas for how to proceed. I want to share with you one other thing that you might know about me. I've known many of you for a long time, and then I'm going to share this story and then we're going to conclude with a meditation. I want you to be mindful that your intentions, your goal is to have calm, clear intentions because they have power in the world. And when I come and speak with you in February, I will be explaining more about how that power works and how it connects up outside of you and how you can influence what is happening out there in the world with your energy to be able to get what you want. Some of you may know, and this is a tough situation. Remember, life is full of challenges. When you are getting what you want in life, it doesn't mean that you are not getting challenges. It doesn't mean that things aren't going to come into your life you haven't asked for. They will. That is life. Things will come in. But you can have what you want in the midst of all circumstances in your life. You might remember, some of you, that a few years ago, I was taking care of my brother who had Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS. And in his care, you know, that disease is a very debilitating disease. It slowly paralyzes you. And he was left with no functionality except for his eyeballs. So he could move nothing. He could communicate only with somebody being willing to hold up a letter and point to it. And if it was that letter that he wanted you to know, he would blink. Because remember, it's only his eyes that worked. Nothing else worked. So the process of taking care of him from diagnosis through the end of his life was a very difficult process, and I would come home in tears. I had a great deal of sadness and feelings of unfairness that my loving, cheerful, blue-eyed, smiley brother, who made life fun, was going to be gone from me. And then on top of that, the struggle of taking care of him, lifting him, moving him, doing all of the daily care things that needed to be done were exhausting. So I would come home, I had lots and lots of feelings to deal with each day. And on top of that, my sisters weren't helping with his care. So what thoughts did I naturally have, right? Like a little bit of resentment that they're not helping with his care. It's such a big task. It's such an arduous task. And each day I had a choice. What do I do with these natural feelings of resentment, of sadness, of grief, of anger, of frustration, of difficulty? These are all natural feelings. Every day I am struggling with them. And how do I choose to have something come forth that is good and that's what I value and that's what I want out of this experience that I cannot control the end of? I cannot control that my brother is going to die. I can choose what do I focus on. And when I would come home every day, I would know and be real with myself of these feelings that I had that were difficult feelings, challenging feelings. And I would ask myself, what do I really want? What I really want is love and happiness and connection in my life. I want the opportunity to have a loving relationship with my brother while he's here on earth, while I have that chance. So I chose to focus on these waves, these happy, calm waves, and every day I would give that my time and intention in my quiet meditation time. I would give love and care and happiness my intention, and I would envision that for myself. And indeed, I got those things 20 times greater than I ever could have imagined. My brother's children, our relationships grew tremendously. My brother's wife, the loving connection, funny, laughing connections that we all had as we struggled through taking care of him. We grew in love together. My love with my brother was so much more stronger than it had been ever in our history. And so I got exactly what I wanted in the middle of dealing with what I didn't want and the struggles and the pain of life that we all have. So I'm going to honor the time that's been requested, and I'm going to ask us to go into meditation. And in your meditation, I am going to take you through this because these are your how-tos. You are going to get calm and quiet and clear, and I'll take you through meditation. I didn't share with you, but these waves of energy that sync up together automatically sync when you feel grateful. There's this automatic thing that happens in your body, and there's research to show your waves automatically calm down. You can feel grateful for anything. It doesn't matter. You feel grateful for any person or anything in your life that makes you happy. And then you pair that feeling of gratitude with the vision for what you want, with the intention for what you want for yourself. Okay? If you would, close your eyes and have yourself centered. Pay attention to your breathing for a couple of moments. Notice your breathing out and you're breathing in. And as you're breathing out, you're going to release feelings of anxiety, worry, stress. You're going to watch them float by on every out-breath. And on every in-breath, you're going to feel and envision calm, even waves of energy. You're going to feel your body relax. You're going to feel clear that you are with yourself in this moment. That you can know what you want for yourself. And the out breaths, watch the anxiety and the attention, the fear float away. And the calm, even waves come in. And as the calm, even waves come in, bring with it a feeling of gratitude. Bring to mind anything that makes you happy. Any person, anything, any place, any situation. Feel the happiness in your heart. Let your heart swell with a smile. Feel a smile in your heart. Now bring to mind, keep that feeling. You don't have to keep the image of what it's about, but keep the feeling. And bring to mind that which you want. An intention, a desire. And let those two things be present inside of you at the same time. Your grateful, happy, smiling heart. At the same time that you have a vision for what it is that you want, a clear intention. Let both things be present in this moment. Feel the peacefulness and the happiness of these two things together. And slowly, as you are ready, open your eyes. Come back present with us. So I thank you today for your time, your energy, your enthusiasm, your intention. And I will be back on February 16, and I will talk to you about the power of your intuition, because you will use these two powers together, the power of your intention and the power of your intuition. And we'll talk more about that February 16 when I am back. Thank you.